Hello friends, good morning to all of you. Today I am here to explain in detail about chemistry of vitamin H or biotin. The history started like this. In 1916, W.G. Bateman and in 1927, Dr. Boyas uh, found a diet of only egg whites caused dermatitis, alopecia, and loss of muscular coordination in rats. Means when a rat is provided with only egg white, so it actually damaged their especially hair and skin structure and also affected their muscle coordination. Later on, one research group has isolated avidin, a protein, in raw egg white. So when this avidin is given, even in the presence of all vitamins, because here we are discussing about biotin, even when biotin is there in the food material, if it is co-ingested with avidin, okay, so biotin did not had its effect. Means avidin is almost like an antivitamin. So, later on, an extract of yeast by name Bios was found to be essential for the growth of yeast because in the 1920s, while doing research work on effect of vitamins on various types of life forms, scientists found an extract of yeast contained certain nutrients which are essential for the growth of yeast and named it as Bios. Paul Georgi, while working on water soluble vitamins, he took this mixture and he found that it contained three compounds. So one of the compound is mesoinositol. They named it as Bios 1. And the second one is Bios 2A. It is nothing but pantothenic acid. Bios 2B is nothing but biotin. Okay. And this biotin is also called as vitamin H because it is going to significantly influence the health of hair and skin. Okay, so hair and skin in German we call it as Haar and Haut. That's why vitamin H. Let's see the isolation. So vitamin H is first isolated from milk concentrate. So they took the milk concentrate and prepared an ethyl ester. This ethyl ester was taken and adsorbed onto alumina. This alumina adsorbed material eluted with methanol acetone mixture. So this actually separated all milk proteins, sugars, etc. and ultimately gave them crude vitamin. This crude vitamin was taken and performed vacuum distillation because here what is it that we have? It is an ethyl ester. So this ethyl ester could be vacuum distilled. So ultimately they got the pure vitamin ester. So this one was saponified and acidified to obtain pure vitamin. Vitamin H is actually water soluble vitamin. It formed fine long crystals upon crystallization from water. Its melting point is 230 degrees centigrade. It is optically active and it is actually dextrorotatory. So this is the information, preliminary information regarding vitamin H. It is soluble in dilute alkali and sparingly soluble in alcohol and organic solvents. So let's see the way how actually chemistry of biotin was elucidated. In the beginning, biotin's molecular formula was determined as C10H16O3N2S. So if you see the unsaturations, number of carbons 10 minus number of hydrogens by 2 means minus 8. Nitrogens 2 are there. Nitrogens minus 2 by 1, sorry, plus 2 by 1 is 1 and plus 1. How much it will be? This is 4. Okay. 4 unsaturations are there. Because here we have uh, so many carbons are there, oxygens are there, nitrogens are there. So there is a possibility of many functional groups can be there. Now, when they have done preliminary chemical analysis, biotin gave positive reactions for presence of COOH group. As we have seen in the extraction procedure itself, it was actually esterified and separated. So that indicates that the compound is an acidic compound, but here they found it is forming a monosodium salt as well as monoester. Through these preliminary tests, they found one carboxylic acid group is there. Next, they did all other functional group analysis where they could not get positive reactions for presence of C double bond C, means the compound did not undergo hydrogenation, and it did not give any positive test for presence of unsaturation. And there is no aldehyde, there is no ketone, there is no hydroxy group. Okay, so all these tests are negative. Here if you see the molecular formula, 3 oxygens are there, 2 oxygens we are accounting for here, and the remaining functional groups that are possible are these. It is not there because nitrogen is there, so there is a possibility of nitro group. That is also not possible because nitro means NO2. The only possibility that we have is some kind of a amide. Okay, so that is the only possibility that we have. And the compound did not give positive test for ninhydrin test because nitrogens are there, so they tested for ninhydrin. It gave negative tests indicating nitrogen is not nucleophilic here, and it is non-reactive to HNO2, means diazotization reaction is also failed. So here barium hydroxide hydroxylation of biotin gave a clear indicator, a very good information regarding the third oxygen, where here they got 1 mole of carbon dioxide and the remaining and one more compound here upon hydrolysis of biotin. Carbon dioxide is released, and here we lost one carbon and one oxygen over here. What does it mean? The compound lost a CO compound, means CO group is there. How actually this CO group is there, we have to evaluate. Hence they treated this compound, the product over here, with COCl2. Okay, so this was reacted with COCl2. It gave them biotin back. So COCl2 means what? Chlorine, C double bond O and chloride. So this is the reagent. And here two nucleophiles can attach so that carbon C double bond O group can be introduced. So it can react. This is a classical reaction for formation of urea derivatives. Hence, they confirmed presence of a cyclic urea type of derivative in this compound like this. So here we accounted for right now COOH means 2 oxygens we are accounting for, and CO group means the third oxygen is also accounted for. 2 nitrogens we are accounting for. Now we need to see how actually the nitrogens are distributed in our compound. So here they took this degraded product whatever they obtained over here, so this compound, and they reacted with the phenanthrone. This phenanthrone reagent is a very useful reagent to determine presence of amines and what type of amines are there. So what they got is a fused structure was obtained. So when phenanthrone could react with the both amine groups over here, the only possibility is like this. So upon UV spectrum analysis, what they found is they got this compound. So this study indicated presence of a cyclic urea type of hydantoin type of derivative like this. Okay, so the two nitrogens are like this. If they are like this, then only urea formation is possible, and it is giving them a phenoxylene ring structure, which is possible only when we have nitrogens attached to neighboring carbons like this. This kind of a setup only can give you this product. So in this way, the confirmed presence of cyclic urea derivative in biotin. Okay. So right now, how many unsaturations are accounted for? Can you calculate? Here we have a carbonyl group and one ring, means two unsaturations are over here, and here we have a carboxylic acid group where one more unsaturation can be accounted for. Three unsaturations are over, and in the from the actual molecular formula we can find four unsaturations, means one more unsaturation is remaining. We do not have any kind of unsaturations like C double bond C, C triple bond C, or otherwise that unsaturation is not there. No more functional groups are there. The only possibility how we can we can no, satisfy that unsaturation is via having a ring, another ring in the structure. So this fragment over here upon oxidation gave adipic acid. Okay, so adipic acid is a straight chain dicarboxylic acid. Now the question is whether this dicarboxylic acid is coming as a fragment separated from a main structure, or one of the carboxylic acid over here is actually from the compound, because as we all knew, biotin is an acidic compound, carboxylic acid group is there. Whether the one of the carboxylic acid is from the structure or otherwise this is a degraded product, that is what we need to determine. So for this, what they have done is they took biotin, esterified it, they did Curtius rearrangement, thereby they converted ester into amine. So this amine, upon potassium permanganate oxidation, it did not give them adipic acid. What does it mean? The carboxylic acid that is already there in biotin is actually there in the adipic acid. So that is what they are getting from this side. Okay. So one of the carboxylic acid is actually the original carboxylic acid that is present in the biotin, and the second carboxylic acid is actually coming because of the KMnO4 oxidation. So this is their confirmation. What does it mean? It means biotin contains a side chain with saturated carboxylic acid. So this attachment how to give? So that is what we need to finalize. Now the situation is pretty simple. Here how many carbons are there? 1, 2, 3 carbons are there. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 carbons are there. 3 plus 6 is equal to 9. Here how many carbons are there? 10 carbons are there. Only 1 carbon is remaining. With this simple logic we can close the ring. But here they did a few more reactions to get an idea on what type of ring can be there. So biotin, they have taken biotin and oxidized it with peroxides. Okay, hydrogen peroxide. They got sulfone. What do you mean by sulfone? S double bond O. Okay, let's say if you have a sulfohydryl group like SH group, then it would be converted to sulfonic acid, SO3H. But when a sulfone is forming, it is because of like this type of structure, disubstituted, or otherwise ether. Okay, thioether. If thioether group is there, then only sulfone formation will be there. So this gave an idea, and then they treated biotin with methyl iodide. It gave them methyl sulfenium iodide. Okay, because sulfur reacted with only one methyl group. These two observations confirmed presence of thioether group in the compound. Now this is it. The actual molecular formula, from there how many unsaturations? 4 unsaturations are coming. And these are the fragments that are confirmed so far. So we have a 5-membered ring structure, like hydrogen type of structure is there, and then adipic acid 6 carbons, and then thioether is there. The only thing that is remaining is a CH. Okay, with a CH group we have to join this puzzle. The possibility is adipic acid is joined to this one like this straight chain, or otherwise a branching point, because the adipic acid is coming out of the branching point. So these are the two possibilities. Because of only one CH is there, sulfur is there, and then the remaining group is over here, the most probably the degraded products can be obtained only when we have this type of fusion into the ring formation. So these are the possible structures. Okay, these are the possible structures, because with sulfur, with adipic acid forming a part of the ring structure, and CH, if you see these three things, they can be successfully attached to each other via either this type of arrangement or this or this. These are the three possibilities that we have. Now we need to finalize which one of these three is actually biotin. So biotin was taken and it is esterified and then desulfurized with the help of ranitidine with boiling ethanol, then it was treated with HCl. So first what they have done, this desulfurization reaction is this one, and then they hydrolyzed it, because here we have a cyclic no a urea derivative is there, so this was hydrolyzed. It gave them 7,8 diamino nonanoic acid, means 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, 9 carbon containing straight chain was obtained. Let's say if you take this one, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, only 8 carbon chain is there. Here you will find a branching. Here also, here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, so here or here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, so in both these you will get nonanoic acid. Upon periodic acid degradation, pimelic acid is obtained, because whenever we have two nucleophiles like OH, OH or otherwise NH2, NH2, periodic acid degradation is going to give you carboxylic acid over here. Okay, so this is degraded in this way. Next one is, we all knew that barium hydroxide hydrolysis is going to free the top part, and it was exhaustive methylation and removal of nitrogens, and the hydrolysis resulted in formation of this compound where thiophene, 2 substituted thiophene carboxylic acid was actually obtained. So this is possible only when we have this structure. Okay, so all the degradation reactions etc are agreeing with this structure. So in that way biotin structure is confirmed as this bicyclic ring. So let's say if you have biotin this structure, then upon hydrolysis you are going to get this compound, and then that will give us the degraded product. Now the structure is to be synthesized or otherwise confirmed with synthesis. So in the synthesis in 1944, Harris proposed one synthesis. Here they have started with sodium salt of cystine, and that when reacted with chloroacetic acid sodium salt, it gave them this product. This one was benzylated first, and then a ring closure happened. This is more like a Claisen type of condensation reaction in the presence of very strong base like sodium methoxide and methanol. So once this ring is formed, hydrolysis or otherwise hydrolysis followed by decarbonylation reaction actually resulted in this compound. So here how actually we got the ketone here, actually we are going to get this product OH, because this is an enol, because from here carboxylic acid is removed, so here this is an enol, so enol will be rearranged to keto form. Okay, so that is the way how they got it. Okay, so this is it. And after that they treated that one with this aldehyde, because here we have the activated methylene group is there, so there both condensation as well as reduction both were done, so thereby they got this compound. Now because here we have C double bond O is there, so that was treated with ammonium hydroxide, so that now skip base is going to be formed, so that is treated with benzoyl this one benzoylation type of reaction was done, so thereby nitrogen is protected like this. Now it is hydrolyzed barium hydroxide treated with sulfuric acid, and then with carbonyl COCl2 in the presence of aqueous sodium bicarbonate, because these are the three steps. After these three steps you are going to get this product. Okay, so friends, this is the way how biotin was actually synthesized. Biological significance of biotin. Biotin is a very important part of enzyme system especially the carboxylase enzyme system. Acetyl-CoA carboxylase, which is essential for lipid synthesis from acetate, and many other reactions, many other biological reactions that I have shown you here. Like in case of pyruvate carboxylase, where liver gluconeogenesis is actually under control of this enzyme. So like this, biotin is a critical element in all these biochemical reactions. So friends, this is the way how chemistry and biological significance of biotin are established. If you like this video, please share it with your friends and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I thank you all for your time, and I'll see you again with another very exciting lecture session soon.